So I guess this is the part where I say, ladies and gentlemen, in the shower, in the car, behind this desk,
hopefully at home,
across the room, probably, hopefully not in a large gathering of people, wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in to the first ever Illest Couple live stream with me, Sean.
and me, Kathy.
And you, Kathy.
I'm looking. Hi.
I see you. So, this is a new thing for us. You know what I'm going to do, Kathy?
What?
I'm going to say it all over again. You know why?
Why?
Because I didn't hit record on the podcast thing.
Okay. Cool. This is the fun
Take
extra
two.
content you get.
That's right. Take two. Maybe. Ladies and gentlemen, how exciting was that?
So exciting.
In the shower, in the car, hopefully not in a large group of 250 people or more. Welcome to the first ever live stream of the Illest Couple podcast.
To a very special episode.
With still me, Sean.
And still me, Kathy.
We have some heavy echo. That's not great. Why is that?
Oh, you do?
I guess.
Am I too close?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For real?
It's because this is picking you up.
Oh, so what should I do?
Technical stuff.
Should I sit back on the couch?
No.
It's a joke.
I got this. Unless I don't.
We need one of those little we need one of those little technical, like, be right back raccoons. It's got to be a raccoon.
All right. Let's see if everyone can still hear us. All right.
Thank you for bearing with us. This is our first time doing this.
Hey, Kathy, say words.
I'm saying words. Here are words. They are words that are coming out of my mouth. Would you like to hear more words? Okay.
Mr. JMac experience, can you hear both of us better now? Possibly. Maybe.
Jesse? Bro?
I mean, hopefully that's a yes. I don't really know. Let's find out. Kathy, say some words.
Okay, I'm going to sing Smash Mouth. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with.
Yeah, you know what? We can hear you. Thanks for singing
Want me to finish your favorite
Smash
song?
Mouth. You're doing great. You're doing great with the Smash Mouth.
If you wash your hands, you could sing the beginning of that until the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, and the well. You got to say the well for the 20 seconds.
I mean, yeah, I think that's right.
That's what my brother and me said. Oh no, it was Sawbones, another podcast.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Oh yeah?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. So here we are. Now, here's the thing. I can't promise that we are going to be able to answer a lot of questions. We'll do our best to answer your questions live. And what we're going to do afterwards anyway is take a look back through any that we have, and we can always answer them for the next episode or whatever we do. Or we can answer them after the fact and throw them on to the end of this because technology. So, Kathy, you're a little quieter than I am on the stream.
Okay.
But
You can move a little closer.
it's better than nothing.
Is this better? Hi.
I think you're fine. It has nothing to do with your microphone.
Okay.
It's that if I turn that microphone on, then they fight each other
Okay.
like it's Mortal Kombat.
Because we're too close, probably.
Yep,
We're not quite 6 feet from each other, and it knows.
that's right. This is how professional our studio is. I'm sitting at my desk, and Kathy is sitting at the dining room table.
Yep.
You're welcome, everybody.
Please become a patron so we can get a fancy studio.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, speaking of which, This is a little bit of a preview to a lesser extent, I guess you could say, because right after we are done with this live stream, after this recording, what we're going to be doing is we're going to update our Patreon with the new features, the new things that we're adding to it, which is going to be cool. And one of them is for tier 2 and tier 3 subscribers. Anytime we are doing a regular episode recording, we're going to live stream it through our Patreon. And you guys will get to see everything. It'll be early access. You can see how ridiculous and sometimes stupid we are. And
The later at night it is, the more crazy giggles you'll probably get, because I just lose my mind around 9 o'clock.
I feel like there's a Venn diagram
Yeah.
that would exist for you with regards to the later it gets and the sillier you get. But somewhere then at the bottom of that Venn diagram would also be sips of alcohol, because it's kind of like the same thing.
I don't know if a Venn diagram is what you're thinking of. Those are the two circles. I think you're thinking of just a chart, maybe? Or am I wrong?
I don't know.
Anyway, the point is,
This is riveting.
yeah. Or it could go with time. Once it hits 9 o'clock, it just gets gigglier and then also cranky.
Yeah,
So, well, you know, you live with me.
that's true. I do live with you. These are facts, ladies and gentlemen.
So why don't
Straight
we
facts.
Tell them why we're here.
The reason we are here today is because there's a lot going on right now with the coronavirus, otherwise known as COVID-19, or I guess you could say going on with COVID-19, otherwise known as the coronavirus. There we go. And everybody's talking about, ways you should take care of yourself as to not contaminate, others or become contaminated. People are also talking a lot about toilet paper, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, hello, Mindy. Kathy is super quiet. So Kathy.
Okay. Just be louder.
Yep.
For real. Like,
Yep.
just use that voice.
Just do it.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, guys. It'll be louder.
We'll work on that part.
It's because our phones don't like each other. So.
Oh, I'm not using my phone.
Oh, I thought you said that's where my mic thing was.
Yours was.
Oh.
Mine is right here
Oh.
in this camera where I'm sticking my finger right in front of the lens.
I'm not fancy.
Anyway, Mindy, we love you. Hi, Mindy.
But yeah, with this whole thing, we wanted to talk about mental health because obviously this is creating a lot of stress for people and confusion, anxiety, all the normal stuff I deal with all the time. Welcome. I will tell you how to deal, hopefully. I know what to do.
You do?
I mean, I think I do. I have
What's the
some
solution?
tips and tricks. There's not like one solution.
Is not?
That's how we'll title the video. This one thing will help get rid of anxiety forever.
Oh, good.
Because that's how you get people to watch.
Yeah, it's not drinking bleach or
No, it's not drinking.
any of the other things that people will have mistakenly said about COVID. Anyway, so it's worth mentioning that while we were setting up, Kathy's anxiety was having to go, not because she was stressed about anything having to do with her. What exactly you were stressing watching me get set up, right?
I think it was just the time constraint too. Like the closer we got to 4 o'clock and it wasn't fully set up, I was like, why is it not set up? Why aren't we ready? Because I would rather have it set up and then just be able to sit here than wait until 5 of, and then we're like, why isn't this working? So
that's fair.
And that's kind of what I did. So I went to the kitchen and started putting away dishes because when I get super anxious, I get like a weird energy
Yeah.
that I have to do something with, or I freak out. I should
Okay.
probably work out when that happens, but
I mean, you could. Hey, you know what? I can move this and then sit back and I'll feel so much more chill.
yeah, just relax, bud.
Just chill. So, by the way, I guess it's also very important that I mention that currently, right now, no one's going to care about this. I am in the middle of a very important live fantasy football draft. So, this has my attention, but I can't say it's undivided because if this thing goes like, zzz, that means Damien is like, dude,
Right.
pay attention to me. And then I'll be like, all right. And I'll look real quick.
Okay.
All right. I mean, we talked about that before.
But you didn't tell them, so now you did.
Now I did. Now you know. Kathy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Okay. I'm totally ready.
Go.
You want me to start?
Sure.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, with this kind of stuff, the people that are usually reacting more are anybody that has a pre-existing mental condition. So, like, I'm totally in there with my anxiety, depression, and then there's children and anybody that's like a first responder. So, I know people that are nurses or doctors. They are right there, and they're even if they aren't stressed about the actual issue occurring, they have all the people coming to them with their stressors. And I would sure vice versa, that they are trying to talk about the validity of staying home and treating it.
Time out. I
What?
just saw something.
What?
Traditionally, one of us is much louder than the other.
It's usually you.
So what I'm going to try to do, and those of you watching can help out with this, I'm going to mute my mic on the camera and turn yours on.
Okay.
And see if that one picks us both up better for those that are watching us.
Okay.
All right. So
Sorry, guys. Thank you.
you can keep talking.
Okay.
There'll be a brief moment of echo.
But yeah, I mean, it's got to be tough. I am not a doctor and a nurse, apparently,
You
but
just play one on this show.
yeah, they won't even let me play one. I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing. But a lot of people are
Having fear about
their
our
own
own health or people that they love, which that's my main concern. I think both of our main concern, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm relatively young and healthy, and I don't think if I did get COVID, there'd be a problem. I would get better. But
Right.
what if I go to visit my mom who is over the magic age of 60, or, you know, my father has heart issues, stuff like that. It's very stressful for me to think about passing it on to somebody else. I don't want to be the reason that someone I love gets super sick or, God forbid, dies. But
That is, I mean, that's certainly stressful.
I know that's really a downer, but it's really what my brain thinks about, you know?
No, yeah, but the thing is, I get that. We were just having a conversation about this last night. I was supposed to go to a concert with my brother Brandon. I decided not to because I don't want to take the chance that I get it from someone. And I mean, I'm sure that I would be fine, but I'd be worried about passing it on to, you know, one of my parents.
Right.
So, I mean,
Well,
that's
and
a history of heart issues. My mom has a pre-existing heart issue and, you know, other stuff. So
Yeah, other stuff.
other stuff,
Well,
you know.
I think one of the scariest things for me is when they're like, oh, you know, they're fine. That person doesn't have symptoms, but you don't know. It doesn't show up right away. And some people will be non-symptomatic the whole time, especially kids. So we don't know what, and I'm glad they closed the school, even though that creates a whole other stressor for trying to figure that stuff out. But that is going to be a breeding ground because kids spread it so easily. They might not get sick, but they're coming home and giving it to everybody else without even knowing it, probably. So
Sure.
it really, I will admit I'm handling this better than I expected. And the only reason I could think of is because when there's actual information for me to be anxious about, if I have like a plan, I feel better and I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to stay home, stay away from people. I am not creating a problem. So I know that I'm doing the best that I can. I think that reassures me a little. I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Because usually when I worry, it's about things I can't control. And granted, in the grand scheme, I can't control it, but this gives me that fake feeling of knowing what I'm doing and that I am doing something, you know.
I totally get that.
I'm just messing with my own brain, but as long as it works. So
When I I got called into work today for a meeting or whatever you want to call it. They didn't exactly specify what we're going to be doing outside of getting laptops. And I work for a large medical device manufacturer. And, you know, they're concerned that in the event someone gets sick, we need to be able to take care the clientele. So what they want to do is set us up a laptop so we can work from home. Personally, what I have a problem with is that basically we were told this is sort of a preventative thing. In that, well, I'm sorry, but it's not preventative in my opinion. It's reactionary, because what they're going to do is we're getting them set up in the event that someone gets sick. They will shut us down for 2 weeks and send us home to work at home. But my problem with that is, in the meantime, how many people have been in contact with that person? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
that's
a
well,
weird
like I
thing.
said about the symptoms don't show up right away. So everybody could, in theory, be infected already. We just don't know it. And the longer you spend at work, the more likely it is that those germs are getting passed around. So,
Right.
yeah. And I mean, my work is completely different because I work at a warehouse. There's absolutely no way with what I do to work from home. And then the stressor comes in that I won't have any money coming in if we shut down. And, there's been a few places I've seen, and I can't remember who, but there's places that are still paying their employees and they're
Yeah.
out of work. And I think that's amazing, but I can't say that's going to happen for me. I doubt it. If we even do close, what's probably going to happen, they're offering overtime for next week because they already know a lot of people aren't going to be in with schools closing and stuff. So I think they're just trying to get as many people to work as many hours as they can. It's not mandatory right now, which that's good at least. But the whole idea of being around more people is kind of, it's starting to, like, I was okay last week. I really was. I was like, it's fine if I'm going to wash my hands. I'm just going to do my thing. But I'm starting to get to the point, well, there are people, in our county that now are confirmed cases. And I would rather sit out for 2 weeks and do nothing than have us wait until it, hits a fever pitch. And then we have to shut down for 6 weeks or something because so many people are sick.
Right. And for me, it's I just totally blanked out. I had something and then it was gone.
It's because I talk too much, isn't it?
And it's gone.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like your work isn't doing it perfect, but at least you have the option. I am super stressed about the money part.
That's what you made me think of.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I saw was they sent out an email basically that said that, which I thought was going to be great, which is that with approval, like with the kids now being in school for 2 weeks, that's going to make it harder for some people to get daycare, et cetera, et cetera. And so if you get supervisor approval, they'll let you work from home as long as you have the ability to do so.
Which you do.
Right. But also, it requires supervisor approval. So the thing is if you don't get approved to work from home,
right,
but you don't have another option as far as your kids go, you can stay home and it will not count against you as an unexcused absence or anything. But then you have to make a choice. And the choice, and I totally disagree with this.
Yeah.
You can either do a combination of sick days and vacation days so that you get paid.
Right.
Which, if you're going to do that for the 2 weeks that the kids are home, you are now blowing 10 days.
Yeah.
Or you can just stay home. You won't get penalized as far as like disciplinary.
Right.
From a disciplinary perspective.
Yeah, they won't look at it as unexcused.
But that's up to 2 weeks without pay.
Yeah.
Which
most
seems
people
like a
can't.
lose to me.
Yeah.
And that, I only saw it in that small meeting. There were a couple of discussions amongst the people on the side while we were getting the laptop set up. But there was definitely people that were feeling the squeeze on that.
Yeah. I mean, and like we were talking about, I'm so conflicted with taking Jack to someone's house, my mom's house, or my his dad's mom's house, his Nana's, because they are all in the age range and the categories where people have health issues, that they should not be around him, because he has been out and around everybody, you know. And but I don't have another choice. I can't not go to work, and it's stressful.
I just want to mention that Mindy in the chat says that she really appreciates. I can't speak English.
Yeah.
She really appreciates this, and she appreciates it because she said that you're expressing everything that she is scared of. And you know, she said that if places shut down, they should try to collect unemployment to supplement their income.
I did see that in California. I don't know if we're allowed to do that. I would hope so, because the thing that gets me is it's not, I mean, with this one, like you said, it would be your choice now, but if they say everyone has to shut down and we don't get paid, that's not fair. I mean, literally. Or I know some countries, was it Italy, that said they're not doing mortgage payments right now? Like they're, yeah, they're like halting everything. And I believe that's a better idea. I mean, same thing with going out to dinner. Did you see that thing I put up that said like buy a gift card for a restaurant now, like a local one? Because it said like restaurants are going to be having trouble because people shouldn't technically be going to them. And they said like for small places, like chains can deal with it usually, but small places that could really hit them. But they're saying, you know, buy a gift card, and then when things are better, go out to dinner, you know, but you're giving them the money now. So they have that 2 months to like have money that is, you know, coming in.
Yeah.
Because I saw a lot of people saying on my one friend's thing when he was saying about social distancing, and, you know, they're like, but don't forget about, you know, all the people that are working so hard at restaurants, make sure you support them. And he's like, no, don't, that's not what you're supposed to do. Like, also because of the food. I mean, we admittedly did go to a pizza place last week, and I was actually rethinking that just today. And I'm like, oh God, why did I do that? But at the time I didn't think anything of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just all the more hands that are on things. I even feel nervous about buying fresh food, which is might be a little over the top. And I probably will still try to buy some veggies, but again, people are handling them and they're getting breathed and coughed on. We don't know what's happening to them, and you can only watch things so much. Like, it's just a lot.
Well, as I had said in the preview description, you know, for this live stream, which again, hi everybody, and thank you.
Drinking my seltzer. Hello.
I'm not Kathy in this equation. I'm Sean. I think my name says it.
Why did someone say hi to me?
Right there. My name says it on the screen right there.
Did someone say hi to me?
Well, I mean, yes. But I had said that, you know, while in the interim, life has definitely changed. The whole idea for this conversation right now is that while the fact that there are people who are struggling with mental health, or, you know, conditions that they, you know, still have to go through every day with, while that hasn't changed, what has changed for a lot of people is how those mental health conditions are dealing with the situation.
Yeah.
I know you.
I was going to say,
did you found some information?
Yeah. So this was actually from the CDC. Well, no, I'm sorry. Most of this is from the CDC. This was from a Vox article that a woman wrote specifically about her dealings with her OCD.
Okay.
And I mean, it makes sense when you think about it, that people with OCD are dealing particularly badly with this kind of thing, you know, because a lot of people that have OCD, they can't separate the reality of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Of like an issue. They everything appears daunting to them, you know?
So what I was going to say is, without going into extremely overt detail about OCD, OCD is more than liking to have your movies in alphabetical order. Can you explain a little bit more, just briefly, about OCD?
Well, and the thing I always think of with OCD too is like, being extra hygienic and stuff. And yeah, that is part of it. Like it's obsessive actions, but it also can be extreme hypochondria, which obviously in an issue like this, that's going to be huge. Or like that you're really stressed about your family, about them coming to harm. I'm stressed about it as in I'm thinking about it, but it's not stopping my life. With people with OCD, they have they like have time consuming rituals that they have to perform when they're stressed out, and the obsessive hand washing is definitely one of them. But there's other things that I'm sure can occur. I don't know, admittedly, as much about that as I do anxiety, but they also have extreme self isolation, which obviously in this case we're supposed to distance, but they will actually isolate as in like not communicate too. It's not even just physically. They just, they're honestly too busy doing what they think they need to do to keep themselves and their people they love safe,
Sure.
And one of the really scary things, which I didn't even think of, and that's why I've been applying a lot of lotion. I've been washing my hands obviously more, and my hands are dry. But if you are already a person with OCD that washes their hands pretty consistently, a lot of these people, they can wash their hands until they become like raw and cracked.
Yeah.
And you mean that's just opening up a place for germs to enter, actually,
Literally.
Yeah. So it's going to cause a problem rather than solve it if you get to that point. That's why, again, my hands are dry, but I've been trying to make sure there's not anything cracking, and I'm not even washing my hands to what I feel is an extreme. I mean, it's not like you live with me, I'm not washing my hands all the time. It's like I'm
Right.
washing them before I make food and after the bathroom, of course, and that kind of jazz. But I don't personally know anyone that has bad OCD like that. But this article, she said another thing too is people that can put themselves into a situation, either people with OCD or anxiety, like you might not want to come in contact with germs, so you don't want to stop at a gas station to get gas for your car. Well, you run out of gas because you waited too long, and then you're stuck. Like it can really compound, and I didn't think of it that way, because to me it's like whatever, it's gas station, that's something I don't really overthink. But they might not want to even touch the stuff, not want to see other people at all. So it's a little crazy.
One of my coworkers, in an aside conversation, mentioned something to me that I had no idea. I would not have guessed, because it's a silent thing.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, I'm sorry. It's something that you can't see. You know what I mean?
Like internal.
Yeah. Originally, I was supposed to be going to a football game on the 28th with several friends, and
I do know.
And then that got, for me, I had to back out of it because we were going to be doing the Lehigh Valley Podcast Festival, which subsequently has also been postponed and hopefully will get rescheduled for 2020. We'll see what happens. By the way, what we do know is when that does get rescheduled, if it ends up being in 2021, we will still be there. They said that we absolutely have an invite to it. And,
yeah, we don't have to resubmit, which is great.
But anyway, I wasn't the only one that had to back out of that initially because of a scheduling conflict. This is before the coronavirus thing even came up.
Right.
And then I had a coworker who was interested in buying one of the tickets for one of us that couldn't go, and he was all in. And then this thing really started to take off, and he pulled me aside and he said, "Hey, listen," he said, I want to talk to you about something. Bottom line is, he told me, I don't tell a lot of people this, but he said, I have had an issue with hypochondria for most of my life. And he said that he really had it pretty well under control, especially from the time he went away to serve in the military, because that wasn't a situation where he could really let it get the best of him.
Right.
He really had to, so anyway, so through whatever means, he was able to really get that under control, whatnot. He said that with this whole thing coming about, because he said he didn't really have any sort of like major freak out concerns or anything like that with SARS or MERS or
Right.
the swine flu when that was a thing. But he said it's like a nightmare for him.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
it's a totally different, it's uncharted territory.
Yeah. And he said, I am generally very logical about things, very much like I say, like I'm not an alarmist, I'm a realist.
Yeah.
He told me ever since this really started to become a thing, his kid coughs and he's like all apart.
Right.
He's panicking, and his fiance has really been, I guess, working with him to try to help keep things, like leveled out.
It's hard though.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I have my own concerns, my own anxieties about this, but not to any sort of an extreme level. Like someone who has diagnosed anxiety.
Well, and again, I feel like yours isn't so much anxiety as it's being cautious and being real about it, being realistic. Because you and I were talking about it earlier today. I think there are too many people that aren't taking it seriously, or they think that staying home isn't worth it. And it's like, well, they can't tell me what to do kind of thing. And I'm like, it's, they're not going to get sick. You might not get sick, but like we said, you might pass it on. And really, if staying home for 2 weeks is the worst thing that happens, I mean, that's actually a good thing sometimes to, disconnect and just be around your family. And for me to watch a lot of TV. So, I'm pretty psyched about it, actually. I've been, all the memes have been saying, I've been preparing my whole life for this, and I'm so ready. So.
You mean to stay at home?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, what is it that instead of FOMO, I have JOMO, the joy of missing out. I'm like, yeah, I totally was way different in my 20s, but now it's like, I just want to stay home. I do have some other stuff that I found if you want to hear it.
I'm going to leave this one comment of Mindy's up on the screen.
You want to say it? Go ahead.
Viewers. It's the one that she had mentioned before, where she said, I really appreciate this because Kathy's expressing everything I'm scared of.
Oh.
And I think it's important for people to know, one of the big things that we try to do on the show is, again, let people know that they're not alone with the things that they think and the things that they're concerned of, especially when it comes to mental health. And I think too many people, well, and you said this plenty of times, that too many people, they get in their head and they really believe that they can't talk about it. They don't want to express what their feelings are, what their concerns are about what they're dealing with internally because they're afraid of the stigmas. They're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of those things. And one of our entire purposes on this podcast is to let people know that they're not alone. So, Mindy, we get it, and Kathy appreciates you.
I do.
And I love you.
Well, the other thing I was thinking of at my work, they're always like positive. Here's a high five, that kind of stuff. And I was actually the one person, he always high fives everybody. And I was like, my God, what am I going to do if I see him? If he tries to high five me, how do I handle this? Because my anxiety from not wanting to disappoint people and not want to, just say no, pretty much. So luckily it didn't happen. And I'm pretty sure at this point, anybody would understand. But I've been like avoiding the high fives for a while. Where did we go that I shook someone's hand and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yeah. But I mean, it was right at the, the dawn of this stuff like that. It was like that little thought, the kernel in my head that maybe you shouldn't do that. But I was like, nah, I'm fine. But now it's like fist bump, elbow bumps. Even I think elbow bumps are better because you're not touching. Yeah.
Didn't you read something?
Throw bows.
Did you already say this? I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Did you already say the thing about somebody had posted about introverts?
Oh, that we're ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you said before?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really good at paying attention to more than one thing.
That's all right. I'm going to carry this ship today. I got this.
Wait, you're going to carry a ship?
Yeah, I'm really strong. Well, okay, so since we've been stuck at home, I've been lifting like thousands of pounds, and now I'm buff as hell. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I mean, I know you haven't noticed because I've been wearing this shirt that covers everything, but
right.
I mean,
you don't want to make me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, I don't like to make anyone feel inadequate. I mean,
I appreciate
but I got gains with a Z. got one more thing to talk about, if you don't mind.
Please.
So there's a nonprofit mental health America, it's called, and they have questionnaires online. So, when you go online, it's like, do you have anxiety? Do you have depression? You can fill them out.
Sure do.
So on average, 3,000 per day were being filled out online because they can keep track of it that way. At the end of February, the anxiety screen in particular, it increased by 19%, which is between like 4,000 and 5,000 daily, which again, 19% doesn't sound like a huge jump, but that is. And the demographics, 2/3 of those people haven't reached out to a mental health professional. So there could be fallout from the fears that people that aren't going to like a professional to deal with this, because if you get in your own head and try to deal with it on your own, sometimes you might not be successful. And I don't want to see anybody fall to the wayside through the cracks because of feeling afraid of stigma. I mean, if you're feeling stressed about this, you're not abnormal. You're probably much more normal than anybody. The people that are abnormal at this point to me are the ones who are pretending nothing's happening,
And that they're afraid to talk about it.
Right. Because that's also just going to cause more problems. If you're worried in a healthy way, that is actually better for everybody. Should I talk about kids a little?
Yes.
Okay. So,
and I think it would specifically be important to talk about, our son, Jack.
Yeah. So the weird thing is, though, I've definitely talked about how Jack has anxiety like I do. He hasn't been that anxious. There was one moment, he hasn't been that much about this.
Recently he has.
Okay, but that was one time. Considering how he is, this is actually
okay. That's very fair.
Yeah. So for a normal kid, you might be like, whoa, they're anxious. But for me, I was like, okay, and his dad had said, is he maybe just pretending he's not anxious? And I'm like, no, because I can tell he cannot stop himself from asking questions when he is anxious about something. He wants to know over and over, like reassurance, which again, I know you understand because that's where I am. That's how I am. I ask questions a million times. But like, if you want to watch your own kids, they might react differently. So they might be crying and irritated, which you won't see as much in adults, like the crying part, maybe irritation. They might also have regression if it's a younger child, especially like bedwetting, or if you're having toilet training, this might not be the best time to follow through on it because a lot of kids are going to not be able to focus on that. There might be differences in their eating, their sleeping. Might notice, well, it was problems with school. At this point, we don't have school, so unexplained headaches and body aches. And Jack has been getting a few headaches, and I did question if he's feeling more stressed. He says no, but I just told him maybe drink some extra water. That might be it. I'm trying to focus on all parts of his health. And when you look at like older kids, there could be alcohol or drug use for kids that are in that teen age. That also goes over to adults. There are a lot more people that are staying home, and I know it's like a joke that people are like, oh, get all the alcohol, but I think that's the way some people are coping because they don't want to think about it. So that kind of overlaps from older teens into adults. I'm hoping older teens, not like 9-year-olds. So
by the way, speaking of the teenagers,
yes,
we are going to be doing an episode. We're actually going to record it tomorrow, talking a lot about this, but because I had said, that we could try to imagine like what the kids are thinking, and, what's going on. But the big thing I had thought of is that we don't really know what the atmosphere is like, or what's really going on in the schools themselves. Not in a way that is critical of the schools, but just what is it like? We watch the news, but we have communications with people we're close to. We know the things that we're talking about. So we know the conversations, and we know what the sort of climate is for us as adults.
Yeah.
But what are kids actually experiencing amongst their peers? What is that like? And so anyway, tomorrow we're going to record an episode with a very special guest, and that is our daughter Jade. She said that she would be interested in sitting down, talking to us about what it's like in the high school during this kind of thing. What are the conversations that are being had? What information or misinformation is being spread around? How are people treating each other
Right.
during this? What are they getting from the schools as far as information goes? I asked her about the idea of doing this. I told you this the other day. And when I asked her about coming on the podcast to talk about it, I said, if you could describe it in one word, what would you describe the current, climate or atmosphere to be like in high school about this? And she just said, Dad, stressful. And I said, okay, well, hold that, because I want to know why.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it for a few minutes, but yeah. So anyway, tomorrow we're going to be recording with Jade. We're going to be talking about this because I want to get her perspective about what it's like at the high school level. So.
Well, and yeah, along with that, I know there's one kid in Jack's class that always is telling what he thinks is the truth. I don't know if he gets it from home or if he's making it up full cloth. I don't know. But there were things Jack came to me and asked about. I can't remember now, but about coronavirus that he had heard. And you're always going to get someone in school saying that stuff. And again, it could also be media. They hear one thing, and that's when you look at your kids, you want to be honest about it, but you don't want to over explain, because you just have to tell them the bare minimum. If they want to know more, they're going to ask. But
right.
It's not something that I want Jack to see on the news. I would rather talk to him about it myself, and reassure them that they're safe, because remember I was talking about Glennon Doyle, that writer? So since she's doing social distancing, she just had a book come out. She had to cancel her whole book tour, but she read part of her book, and somebody had given her the metaphor of, you're the flight attendant. She said, when there's turbulence in the air, who do they look at? They look at the flight attendant. Everybody wants to know. And she said, that's what your kids are doing. They look at you. They are trying to gauge how bad it is. She was talking about going through a divorce, but it could work for anything. And her friend said, just serve the fucking peanuts. So, just go about normal. Act like, don't, because the more stressed you are, and you've seen that with Jack. When I start getting upset about something, he picks right up on it. And
that's also why. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
By the way, quick shout out from the chat here. I would like to say hello to Cheese.
Oh, hi.
Who is Brandon?
Yes.
Hi, Brandon. Thanks for watching. Hey, by the way, he's a guy who also has anxiety, and you know what I would love to know if he wants to throw something in the chat. So he works for a large movie theater chain, as you know, and
I do know.
I would love to know what it's like for him too, because
and are they doing that 6 seats apart thing? I read that's or 6 feet apart, like that they're making people sit apart from each other. Is that true?
Yeah, Brandon, what sorts of things have they changed where you work, or what precautions have they taken where you're at, and how is it affecting you, a guy that I know has anxiety and things like that? So I'm just curious. But yeah, with Jackson, one of the things, like, you remember the flu shot thing.
Yes.
And so my thing with Jack is, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Be honest, be direct, but don't indulge additional explanation or information, because he takes the smallest things and it's like, oh no. Well,
yeah, it's a mountain out of molehill, and that's what I do too. So I get it.
Yeah.
I totally understand where he's coming from, but as a parent, you don't want your child to feel like that, and you want to fix it. So sometimes I have found myself talking too much to try to quell his fears, and I've had to pull back and realize that sometimes the less he knows the better. He just knows that, he's safe, and I'm not going to let anything happen to him.
That's right. That's all you can do, really.
Yeah.
But by the way, also a quick side note. I just am really, taking this in right now. And Kathy, I'll show you later. Mindy has an excellent profile picture on this on her YouTube account.
Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah. I mean,
are you going to try to explain it with words?
Okay, so she looks very happy, and she is wearing what I can only describe as a very small straw hat that you might see someone who's sitting on a porch sipping lemonade.
I think I've seen this picture.
It is excellent.
Oh.
And Brandon says, so with all this, I wasn't very anxious before about getting sick. But I feel that going to the concert last night was very irresponsible of me. And I don't know, I'm very anxious about it today. More anxious than I've been in a very long time. But about the movie theater, he says it's going to be a few messages, but he says that we're taking various precautions. For large refills, we're asking them to throw out the bags, I guess, and we'll give them a medium bag and a medium cup. Okay. So they get one refill, and we can keep track of it. I just hit my face off of the windscreen, and it scared the crap out of me.
I saw you react. I didn't know what to.
That is quality video. Anyway,
can we slow that down and be like,
just boomerang that? Just like
what the cool kids do. Let's boomerang that. That was probably the cool kids 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Mindy says this is from Jack's first birthday party.
Yes, that was his hat. Yeah, I knew it sounded familiar. Oh yeah.
Oh, Mary.
It didn't even fit his hat.
Mary says that she is taking notes and she'll be very careful in her conversations with Jack. And I just hit my face off it again.
Mom, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh my God. It's the stupid toucan beak.
It's not a toucan beak. You have a lovely Roman nose.
Oh, Kathy.
What?
Get out.
Someone's told me that about my nose. I just
that is the worst. Mary, we love you. And my nose is getting in the way of everything.
I do have a few things which most people probably know, but how to take care of yourself during this time as an adult. So
go for it.
I'm gonna have at it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stay a safe distance away from this windscreen.
Try not to hurt yourself. The first thing I kind of said about the kids, but avoid too much media.
My Gatorade?
Avoid too much media, because when it's like when you're on social media too much, an overabundance of it is actually going to stress you out more. It's good to get the facts, and Johns Hopkins is a good site to go to, or the CDC. You don't want to be reading your coronavirus info from the Daily Mail or stuff like that. Why did you put your shades on?
Because it's just got real serious.
I thought it was maybe like Highway to the Danger Zone. Like,
continue.
Okay, now I'm scared. Taking care of yourself, and this is where I am faltering. I'm not going on a lot of media, but I'm not exercising. I am not eating healthy. Okay, I am getting plenty of sleep, but that's par for the course. I love to sleep. Avoid alcohol and drugs. I'm doing that also. Meditate. I am doing some of that, but definitely today I need to maybe even take a walk outside. It's fine to go outside, by the way. You're allowed when you're self-distancing, because as long as you're not going to a place where there's lots of people. If you just walk past someone on the street, there's little chance that you're going to grab it there. Plus, it's good for get fresh air,
Yes.
So maybe you and I should take a little walkie.
I'd be fine with that. I think our viewers might be fine with that, because I just spent about a full minute just staring into.
Oh, I saw, and I was just trying to maintain my composure.
Go ahead.
So
I have an update from Brandon.
Again, these are pretty normal things. Make time to unwind with normal activities. So if you're stressed, the things I like to do. Last night, I know Sean played a video game with his friend. I finished my friend's Legos. Tonight, I'd like to pull out the puzzle again that I started about 2 months ago. Things that take my mind off of it. I could read my book, stuff like that. Watch a lot of television because I love the TV and can look at other people's issues.
I really feel like this is something worth showing. And, you can continue.
Okay, I'm
But
almost done anyway.
You spoke about your Legos, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's really important to display
Please
your,
be
your hard
careful.
work.
They're not attached, some of them though.
I got this.
The other thing is connecting with others. Don't isolate. So even though we might not be able to physically all get together, I mean, technically, this is kind of like a family reunion because all our family is on this right now. So this is a way to connect. And, I'm not a big talk on the phone person, but I will text with anybody that wants to text if you need to be together. And Mindy got me these Legos. So this is perfect. Mindy and Jesse.
What set is this?
The Friends set. I mean, I don't know. It's just called Friends. And the last one is to maintain positivity. So I think we should all be positive. There's my Lego friends, and they're all set up. Phoebe is waiting to go on after Ross, but I have a feeling she's not going to because she's going to be, she's going to feel small against his great keyboard talents.
He's very talented.
Yeah, it's even got like the lights. Oh, and there's a raccoon and a squirrel. Do you remember where that is? It's on the outside.
Yeah, they're on the outside with the trash can because my coworkers snuck stickers onto my bag and we put them over here. So
it's so cute.
Over here.
I mean, I don't know how many raccoons you see in New York, but you definitely do see a lot of squirrels. So,
Central Perk.
But yeah, it's freaking gorgeous.
Right,
and if you drop it, I will kill you.
I'm not going to drop it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you, Mindy and Jesse. This was a great gift, and I am going to keep it forever. And now we're going to work on Sean's Overwatch one.
Yes.
We could start that tonight too, actually.
Deal.
But yeah, the main thing is that we always say to take care of yourself and each other. This is like a larger version of that. It might not be fun to not go to things you're supposed to go to. There's a lot coming up that we didn't get to go to our concert, and I'm bummed about that. But you know what? Yeah. It's a smart, responsible thing to do, and it's not going to be for too long. Everything will come back, and if we're saving lives, as weird as that sounds, you could technically save a life by not doing these things. So
it's true, especially if you live with anybody over the age of, I think, 60, right?
60 is what they're saying. Yeah, the magic age.
Gotta be careful. So just an update, Brandon. Mindy says, "Yay, Friends Legos."
They are gorgeous. Oh, I love them.
Mary says, "Yes, I'm not going to the gym for a while, so Jack and I will be taking a walk."
Oh, good. Get his little legs moving.
Yeah. Brandon says more about the the movie theater.
Yeah.
So he said that we're making it so when the theater is at 50% capacity, our screen flashes red. Then we manually sell it out in the system.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yep. We are sitting people 2 seats apart. And then as of yesterday, we deleted all of the shows, all the last shows past Monday. So we close at 9:30 and we're out at 11:30.
That's good.
When normally we close at 10:30 and get out around 1. And he says that we are sanitizing various parts of the theater multiple times a day, washing our hands, sanitizing after touching our faces, money, etc. He said we're not allowing guests to use any of our 4 hand sanitizers, or any of our hand sanitizer. However, due to the fact that it would be gone in mere hours.
Yeah.
I misread that grammatically. Basically, yeah, they can't let customers use the theater hand sanitizer, the employee sanitizer, because it would just disappear.
It's way too many people. Yeah.
And then he said if he remembers anything else.
Has it still been?
That's interesting.
Has it still been busy?
That's a good question.
Because I mean.
And you would think it might pick up now with everybody being out of school for 2 weeks.
Right. Well, and there's a great article.
Not this week.
Yeah, there's a great article that it says, this isn't a snow day. And that's true. A lot of people are treating this like, let's just have fun. And I forget where it was that I told you that what state that the governor was out at a restaurant with his children. And it's like, you're supposed to be setting the example. Like, I just don't understand why we can't just take this serious for a little. it makes me more stressed out when other people are acting like that because I can't control them. I'm fine with myself.
Brandon said, with capital letters spaced out, "We are dead."
Really? That's
So
good.
I guess nobody's coming.
Good. No offense, Brandon, but good. I'm surprised actually they haven't closed all those places.
Buy your theater gift cards.
Yeah.
There you go. Support the movie theaters. Buy gift cards now.
Right. And then you can use them when it's time to come back and have fun. You can have fun now at home. I have a lot. If you want to message me, I could tell you so many shows to watch, guys. I'm watching I'm watching Devs, which is a new one on Hulu. It has Nick Offerman as the lead, but he plays super creepy, totally opposite of Ron Swanson, not funny at all. I finally started watching Love is Blind, and it's a train wreck, which everyone promised me it would be. What else am I watching? Oh, and I'm rewatching American Horror Story season 1 because I haven't watched it since it came out, and damn, it's good.
One other quick movie theater tidbit.
Yeah.
Brandon says that normally, if we open at 11, by around 4 o'clock, we'll be at around 300 people having come through, and that's on a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He said yesterday at 4 o'clock we were at about 80 people.
Wow, that's good though.
But I mean, yes, it's good from a health perspective,
right?
But boy, it's like a ghost town probably.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, other than that, I am being cautious, but I'm not as anxious in the moment to moment. Like I have spikes of it, but it's being home makes it a little easier for me because I know that I'm helping at least, and I think that calms me. But I have off tomorrow because we had taken off anyway because of going out of town. But Tuesday going back to work is going to be a little stressful. I know they're having a meeting tomorrow. Who knows what they'll say? Probably nothing. But
I was just thinking while you were talking about that, and one of the things that came back into my mind was something that, like, when this whole thing really started to blow up, I guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They really stressed the idea of, don't touch your face, don't touch your eyes, your nose.
Yeah.
And, refrain from contact with others. And I remember, I remember telling you this, that there was a moment, because people who live in the same house and things like that, they don't think anything of it. But I really took the time to think about it for a second, and I was just like, man, like, there was a moment where the thought that, like, that I, in theory, should refrain from, like, hugging or kissing my wife or, like, holding hands, like, it really made me sad, because there's nothing that says that if I were to be around someone that I wouldn't get it and then pass it to you, and then you pass, you know what I mean? And that's just, man.
But some rules are made to be broken, babe.
If hugging and kissing my wife is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to spread infectious disease. So I guess you got to strike a balance.
Yeah.
And by the way, just on a quick separate note, I know we're going to wrap this up really soon, but
yeah, 'cause I have to pee. You're welcome.
There you have it.
No, we'll finish what you're saying. I'm so sorry.
No. And I don't want to get too much into this right now, but one of the most unfortunate things that I have overheard or read about is, in fact, you heard Jade in a conversation that we were having the other night in the car, is just how ignorantly racist a lot of people are being. And so I can't imagine, I couldn't honestly fathom what it must be like to be an Asian American.
Oh, I know.
Like a Korean American, a Chinese American, or
well, it's like after the terrorist stuff, being a Middle Eastern person, like it's just people judge so quickly and stereotype, and
I feel so bad for all of them. I mean, Jade's boyfriend, his family is Chinese, and she has already experienced people being very racist, in regards to, his family or those
Right.
kinds of people. It's just it's awful. It's really awful. And so, my advice is like, you want to be realistic about this. Like basically it goes like this. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
You want to stay somewhere, like there are extremes, right? Like over here, you've got being a racist, and over here, you've got licking doorknobs.
Yeah.
And you want to be somewhere and not hit your microphone again. That time it wasn't my face. But you want to find yourself somewhere in between. Like, you don't want to be anywhere near that far racist part, and you don't want to be licking doorknobs. But just like be a decent person. Know that everyone is struggling with this right now. Everyone is stressed out. Everyone is anxious. Even if people seem like, it's nothing. They're thinking about it.
Right.
Everyone's thinking about it. And we just need to treat each other like human beings who could contract this and die.
Well, and we're in it together. It's not.
Yeah.
And that was the thing too that
I want to say, no matter how unlikely it is, that you'll die from it. The point is this is not. Nobody loves this.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, I do a little the staying home part, and you know that. But you know what I mean. Just teasing. Don't make that face. I did also read right at the beginning of this whole thing starting in America that, or no, it wasn't reading. It was on Sawbones when I'm worse at this. It was another podcast that I listened to. I can't remember the name. If I think of it, I'll put it on social media. But they talked to, I know what it is. This podcast will kill you. They talk about different diseases every week. And they talked about coronavirus, and they talked to a bunch of doctors at the end of it and scientists and stuff. And they said, the problem is that America will look at it as an American problem when it is a world problem.
It is a world problem.
And that's the thing. I mean, when nothing was coming into America hardly yet, we didn't worry about it. Like, we could have taken precautions and even handled this better, is the bottom line.
That's a whole other discussion.
But on the other hand, they said, at least this isn't something that they haven't seen. Coronavirus in general, not COVID-19, but they know where to start from. At least it's not like an alien came down and we don't know how to handle an alien, but you have to give them the time to fix it. We have to do what is being told to us. And if we're not following the rules, so, you're not going to come back from this as easily.
You got to follow the rules of the road.
I love the rules. Except
Yes,
kissing you. I will kiss you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's real nice.
All right. Tell Damien to wait 1 minute. We're almost done.
No, actually, it wasn't Damien. I was looking something up.
Okay.
Damien actually hasn't texted me at all during this. He sent me one message, but it wasn't. Brandon says, it's hilarious, honestly. The racism isn't. The blatant ignorance is, and not where you think. He said, my friend Millie and I ate Chinese the other day, and we are fine. What Americans seem to be ignorant about is that the Chinese food that we all cherish is distributed and produced in America.
I actually talked to Jack about that. I said, because he asked about the Chinese food, that he's like, why do people think that it's, and I said, well, the funny thing is, it's not like people in China are making the Chinese food we have and sending it over. That's not how it works.
Here's the thing. We get that food faster than any other delivery.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
There's
I mean, honestly, if I wasn't afraid of getting germs, I really would like some Chinese food right now.
I could order 6 full bags of Chinese food, and they would still tell me, okay, 10 minutes.
I love Chinese food. Oh.
I don't know how they do it. I think they're wizards. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they're wizards.
They just work their asses off. That's what it is.
Well, it could be both, right?
Yeah, sure.
I want to thank all of the Chinese food wizards out there who managed to make an army's worth of food in 10 minutes. Kathy's getting tired and she has to pee.
You do.
This announcement brought to you by Instacart.
Oh my God. Please don't say that. They will not allow us to use that promo code or that link or whatever. It's not even a promo code.
Instacart. Get your groceries delivered in under an hour.
Except for now.
Unless it's not.
Yeah.
But, oh, no, wait.
You're not allowed to say that. You're messing us all up.
Get your groceries delivered in as
little as
1 hour. And if you go to one of the last 2 episodes of our podcast on Spotify or wherever you download fine podcasts, you can find the link in the description that'll get you free delivery on your first order over $35.
Yeah,
so go sign
I mean,
up
you
with
really
Instacart.
could use that right now, probably, most people. So
Yeah. If you don't want to leave.
That is funny. That was just like 2 episodes ago, and you were joking about the damn coronavirus, and look where we are now. Remember that? Yeah, you knew.
That's right. We're going to get out of here. Hey, if you haven't already, please
smash that like button.
Brandon says you can just pee right where you're sitting. She says no.
Because guess who would have to clean it up? Me. Yeah, so I'm not doing it.
Anyway, if you want to support the show, please smash on that. What is it?
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know when we're doing more cool vids.
Comment below about your favorite part about COVID-19.
Yeah. What's your favorite strain of COVID? Comment below. We'll talk about it on the next episode.
I love the end of our episodes because they always go off the rails.
It's all
so fun.
Yeah. If you want to support the show directly, please go to patreon.com/illicitcouple. And tonight, we're going to be updating all of the membership rewards, including we will be live streaming for our tier 2 and tier 3 subscribers.
Not tonight again, just when we do recordings.
Yeah, when we do live streams, when we do record episodes, we're going to be live streaming the recordings. So it's basically early access. You get to see all the shenanigans. All the shenanigans.
Hurry up.
Oh, do you still have to pee?
Yeah.
I also want to take a minute to talk about now. Thank you guys for tuning in, for watching this video. We will edit this and get it up as a bonus episode of the podcast.
For Sean to edit this one.
For everyone. God. I know, I've got so many things to edit. Follow us at Illicit Couple on Instagram and Facebook. And
what?
Kathy, is there anything else you want to say before your bladder explodes?
No, I'm good. Thanks. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.
Thank you guys all so much for tuning in, for watching this first live stream. And we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And hey, do me a favor. Take care of yourselves.
And my bladder. And each other.
Illicit Couple out.
Oh my God.
The Illicit Couple.